There we go. It's official. We're started.
Hey.
This is episode, I better look down here, 384.
Wow.
Yeah, No Laugh Track Podcast 384. We're here at Acme Comedy Company in Minneapolis because it's their podcast. Why would we do it anyplace else?
That's almost 8 years. You're going almost on 8 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
No kidding.
Uh-huh.
And that, we're on camera now, aren't we?
We are. This is it.
Crap.
What would you were warned.
Yeah. No, I forgot.
You forgot. Okay. I will say we talked to Adam Ray last week, and he was not told. And there was a moment where he went, fuck it. Like he was in sweatpants and was like, I would have maybe dressed differently. And I'm like, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it at all. So thank you for joining me once again, Tim.
How many times have I been here now?
I forgot to check.
Oh,
I forgot
man.
I was going to do the count. 12, 13, 14, 15?
Let's see. Yeah, probably 16.
Yeah,
Yeah, because
Uh-huh.
I come here twice a year, 8 years, probably close to 16.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
And we should go back. So you kind of already missed one though. But we're gonna make it up, right?
Yeah.
So let's talk about that first thing here. So what was supposed to already happen?
Yeah, we were supposed to have done the crash and burn. It was, I think we were coming up on 2 weeks before the crash and burn 9.
Yeah.
And when everything just kind of went to hell,
Mm-hmm.
and had to blow it out. Nobody wanted to do it anyway, though. That was the interesting thing. It was some of the easiest. People were relieved that it was being canceled because people were still scared at that point.
Oh, the early fears.
Yeah. Yep, the early fears are, oh, good, I don't have to fly, I don't have to travel. A lot of, yeah. It's why I don't think these lockdowns were really necessary. I think people would have locked themselves down.
Boy, you know what? I think you're right, Tim. For a lot of people, I mean, how great is it, especially for me who isn't always that social? Like, I love an excuse to not go out somewhere, right?
Yeah. What was once considered a personality defect is now honorable.
Exactly. Yeah, you're welcome.
It's a virtue.
Yeah, I haven't spread anything as far as I know. Been doing my best. Yeah, I think you're right. It's been a weird time.
For me, it's not much different.
So I was going to ask you.
It hasn't been much different. I just don't go anywhere on the weekends. So it has not been. Yeah. Well, I guess it has. I mean, all the open mics closed. So I mean, I was doing sets during the week and
you
stuff too. So yeah. So it was. It changed for me for about a half hour a day.
Sounds like you're coping though. Are you? So what are the dates? Crash and Burn is gonna. Now it's been rescheduled. Now that the club, the studio here is back open.
Yeah, it's September. I should have looked that up too, shouldn't I have? I think it's September 14th and 15th.
Okay. It's on Acme's calendar already.
Yeah.
Some people want to come in early.
Well, actually, no, it's the 11th through the 15th.
Okay, of September.
No, wait, no, I'm not. I'm looking at the wrong dates. 15th through the 19th.
There you go.
September 15th was in my mind. I was looking at the August calendar. 15th through the 19th.
Well, it's a lot of people are getting confused on time. I mean, time is almost meaningless in 2020. So it's easy to get confused. Is it? Can you say? Is it the same participants?
No, it's not. It's we're actually going local.
Okay.
So that we don't have to. People don't have to fight with the flying in and stuff like that and staying in the hotel. It's this way. This way, people could. It's all local comics. Andy Erickson is still. She was there. So she is still. We were able to keep her.
Excellent.
We also have John DeBoer and Robert Burrell.
Okay. Oh, that's a great crew.
Yeah. Originally, it was going to be 3 Andys.
That's right. I heard a rumor about that. Yeah.
Originally, yeah, it was.
You're down 2 Andys.
Yeah. Yeah, we went from. I think Andy Woodhull was the first one to bail.
Okay.
So we went from 3 Andys to 2 Andys to 1.
What? How did you get to Minneapolis this week? Did you fly or did you drive?
I flew.
And
I flew. It was actually. I used my travel voucher that I had to when I canceled crash and burn.
Oh,
back in March.
perfect.
So, yeah.
Perfect. So how was the experience going to the airport and the flight itself? How is that right now?
It's the same pretty much, except that there's you can't have a drink while you're waiting for your plane. That's kind of a drag.
Even when you're
all the bars are closed. It's McDonald's is open. I don't know how McDonald's got that exemption, but all the other restaurants are.
No kidding. I didn't even think about that. I mean, I know I've heard that the drinks are not being served on some flights now.
Mm-hmm.
Which
they gave us a bag. They gave us a Ziploc bag, and it had a short bottle of water, some Sandy wipes, a bag of Cheez-Its, and a bag of chocolate-covered pretzels.
Oh boy!
And I think some of the bags might have had Oreos in them because I found a bag of Oreos on the floor of the plane.
What?
Right under my seat that I did not eat. I did.
Hey, going back to when of the quarantine and self-isolation and all that first started, and I remember that suddenly like all these rules were being changed, like these things that we've been living by for years. And one of them that I just thought of was they did away with the limit on liquid. I don't know if that was temporary, but like it was 3.5 ounces or something. And then once COVID hit, they were like, oh, well, you could actually have more. Is that still intact?
I don't know because all my stuff is in little tiny bottles.
Yeah,
I've got all my travel stuff in little tiny bottles. I have an additional little tiny bottle. I have a little tiny bottle of hand sanitizer now.
Oh yeah,
which I don't think is necessary. I mean, when I flew, I actually flew just for fun in May. I flew to L.A.
Well, I heard you talk about that on Rule of Three.
Yeah, because it was $37 round trip, taxes included, Chicago to L.A.
Did you think you were going to have to put your feet out to help with the landing for $35? Or?
Yeah.
I mean, there is something to like when someone puts something free out on in front of their house. Like, I'm getting rid of this grill. And maybe nobody wants it, but then you put like $10 on it, and somebody's going to grab it in a second. Like, well, it has now a little bit of value. Like, does a $35 flight make you a little more nervous? Or
I was, hand sanitizer all the time. That's when I got the bottle of hand sanitizer in my travel kit.
Yeah.
I bought. Oh, this is a good story. I might have told it on Rule of Three, but I don't know how many crossover listeners we have.
Let's hear it.
Is that when I was traveling, at the time I wasn't aware that it's just in the air. That's how you get it. People are still touching stuff. People still thought you could get it.
Yeah.
So I thought to myself, in order to keep myself clean, I would buy a set of surgical scrubs to fly in. And it kind of the same idea as sweatpants, no buckles, no belts, nothing like that. But it doesn't look like you've given up. So I went out, and the idea was I'd wear like shorts and a t-shirt underneath, and when I get to my destination, I'd just strip off the scrubs, put it in a plastic bag, straighten them, and take them straight to the washer, because I was I was concerned. And it was funny because I didn't buy. They kept trying to sell me a seat in the exit row for another $35.
And
it's like, I'm kind of committed to $37. I don't want to.
You want to double this thing? Get out of my face. Yeah, right?
So
I paid more than $37 to check luggage.
Exactly. So I didn't. Yeah, it was all carry on. So it wasn't. It was Spirit, so it wasn't even carry on. It had to be personal.
Oh, yes,
so all my luggage had to be personal.
Personal item.
Yeah.
That's right.
So so I'm sitting in the back, and the flight attendant comes down, and they said, "Sir, if you would like, we have some available seats in the exit row. If you would like to move up." And she said, "You have to be ready to assist in the case of an emergency, but I can see that you're bit trained for that." Yes, I am.
Push your glasses up a little. Yeah, that's correct. You should have had one of those forehead thermometers, like in a holster. You guys need any assistance on here?
So,
my goodness.
So yeah, so I fly in surgical scrubs all day. I flew here and I pulled out the scrubs again.
You wore them again.
Warm me. Well, because you go straight through the TSA.
Yeah,
there's
sure.
there's no, you don't have to take anything off. It's
You know, I once, when I was working the morning radio show, some guy called in and confessed to a crime on the air. I mean, it was like,
wow.
I mean, we're all looking at each other like, what is going on? He's literally confessing to a crime. This is crazy. Like, we'd read his story or played some audio from a news thing, and the guy calls in and just like, yeah, this is what happened. He's incriminating himself completely. Hangs up, and I get a phone call from the FBI like a few hours later, and they're like, yeah, could you get us a copy of that audio? We really are interested in that. So I got him a copy of it, and in exchange, I said, I go, what are you guys going to do for me? Just joking. I go, do you have a T-shirt or something? A week later, a T-shirt from the FBI arrived, and I still have it, and nearly every time I wear it in public, I do get like and it's just a navy blue shirt, and it has this little FBI logo over the heart, and I get reactions. From even like go to a gas station and buy something.
Sure, wear it around town now, huh?
So since then, it's sort of staying in the bottom of one of my drawers. Yeah, No, it's
So did they catch the guy?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Did you have a phone record of where he called from, or how did they?
No, we didn't. But they knew how to find him, I believe. I don't think
he was a person of interest.
Yeah, that was never the problem of how to get him. It was, we need a little more evidence.
Got it.
Yeah,
and he provided it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, cool.
And he voluntarily provided it.
What was the crime?
Oh man, I could make I don't remember. I wish I could remember. I really can't.
Huh.
But that absolutely. There was another time.
So it wasn't like it seems to me if it was a murder or
it wasn't that
serial rape.
It wasn't that serious.
That's what I mean. Yeah. So it was probably like a tax.
I don't know if it was tax, but we did
it to tell you how he cheated on his taxes.
Yeah. Hey, that's not how you do it. This is how you do it. Right? Yeah. We would have the guys on like this guy who's an expert, and he's like, I haven't filed taxes in 15 years, and here's how. Okay, sure. I'm not gonna take.
Yeah, I knew some of those people.
Yeah. Does it work out for him in the end?
One woman. Yeah, I'm not going to say.
Okay,
I'll tell you off the air.
Sure, fair enough.
Because they're kind of friends of mine.
Oh,
so
sure. So I was wondering if so last night you did a live version of the 200th episode.
200 episodes. I'm about halfway up to you.
Yeah. Well, keep going. Keep going. You can make it. I have faith. I watched from Zoom.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
cool.
That was a lot of fun to watch. Did you like? Do you want to do another live one again someday? Would you want to do that?
Yeah. No, it was a lot of fun. It was actually because we had audience and it was Zoom, which I love that the club's doing that. It's I found out that's called a blended Zoom show. I just found that out.
Oh, interesting. I never heard that.
It's
Okay.
Blended because it's live and virtual.
Okay. Oh, that makes sense. So and for people who didn't watch it, I mean, your current co-host is Bent Washburn, who is now living back in Germany.
Yep.
So when he got patched through last night, you could tell he just woke up.
well, it was kind of funny. It was kind of funny because we were doing we were gonna. I came here about 3:30 to make sure everything was set up right, everything was working, it was staged right, and they said, can you get a hold of Bent? Is there any way he can zoom in so we can make sure it's all? So I go to Bent. I said, you ready? We're on. And he goes, yeah. He goes, I'm gonna go to sleep, and then I'll get up a few hours before the show.
A few hours.
And
very professional.
And I.
And then how did it turn out?
Texted him. I said, it is a few hours before the show right now.
What's few mean to you?
Yeah. And I said, can you zoom? And then he zoomed in, and we did. We kind of set it up, made sure everything was working.
Yeah.
So and then that was about 5. So our time. So and then so 3 hours. So if he did anything, I think what he did was he just laid down because that would have been about 10 o'clock. I think it would have been midnight his time.
Yeah.
So he probably just laid down after he did that. Laid down and because he still had the blanket on.
For the record, I'm not a fan of animal print, but I mean it worked for him. Normally, I'm not a fan. I'm just not. I don't know. And you're gonna keep. Obviously, you're gonna keep. Like you're not stopping at 200. You're gonna keep going. Now
Oh yeah,
with him.
Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing. If people don't know, you guys not like you were meeting in person to do
no,
the show anyway.
No, the only thing is synchronizing. Is we have to find a time that we're both. Because I don't know if you noticed, Bent was getting kind of sleepy towards the end of the show. Mm-hmm. He was. I actually think he was probably dozing off because he was not towards the end. It was just the Slagle and Miller.
I did notice that he quieted down a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So we have to find a time that neither of it, that we're both going to be. I think we did one. He did. It was like noon for me and 7 for him. So that kind of works.
Noon for you, 7 for him. Okay, yeah, that's probably a sweet spot. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're still going to do it. It's going to be international now.
International.
It's going to be fun.
Heck yeah! And you got and like you've already mentioned, you brought your original co-host back.
Yeah, and I finally admitted what happened.
I love the fact. Because I remember talking to you about that, and you've told me a few years ago when that happened, like, oh no, we didn't. We just moved on, just like radio, which happened to me personally. I got laid off from a radio job, and yeah, it's not discussed.
No,
I mean on my side, but not the other one.
Yeah, no, it's as I said last night. There's 2 places where that happens, where a guy just disappears and you never talk about it again. You do it in radio and the mafia.
Yeah. 1 minute they're there, and the next minute, wait.
It was never. There was never anything. I told Brian I was going to do it that way. And there was never any animus about it. There was no bitterness, right? But it was fun to make people think that there was.
Right.
I thought. And it's I just brought Bent in, and it was like Orwell. It was Bent is the co-host. Bent has always been the co-host. Yeah. Bent will always be the co-host. And I changed all the graphics and stuff and the names, and I went back and changed all the episode names. So it was.
Oh, you did that as well.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Wow. That's like some professional internet scrubbing. Yeah. Very good. That's very trendy these days,
Yeah.
People going back and deleting everything they have.
So it was nice to have Brian back. Nice to be doing it again with Brian. It was fun.
So that was it for the podcast for this week. You're gonna do a little editing, and then that'll be posted Monday or next week Monday, right?
Shortly, yeah. I still haven't the last week. I still haven't posted up yet. So
oh, okay.
I'll probably post that one today.
Oh, all right.
Probably next week.
Okay. I mean, I'm all caught up, so I gotta know which one I'm listening to next.
Oh, cool.
Now. True or false? So the rest of the week, well, I know this is true. You'll be here doing, just your regular stand-up, headlining stand-up. So.
Yeah.
Is this practice for heading up to Sturgis next weekend to perform? True or false?
That's false.
Oh.
It's I did get offered. A bike rally once.
Yeah. During a pandemic, though.
No. I did. It was one of the gigs that I think I lied and said I double booked because I just chickened out. And the booker, you're just chickening out. You don't want to do it, and I didn't want to go. Yeah, you're right. It was she said the way she described it. She said it's just a bike club. You're just going to be working at a bike club. And I went, well, okay, I guess I could do that. I can go into their little clubhouse and get on stage. I mean, I've been in some nasty bars before. I could probably pull it off.
Yeah.
And she said, great, you're booked. And here's your contact. Your contact is Styx. It's like, okay, it's starting to get a little weird already. So I talked to Styx. He goes, yeah, we're looking forward to it. He goes, it's going to be great. We're going to put you on. He goes, it's a big outdoor bike event. We got gangs from all over the Midwest are going to be there, And he goes, "We're gonna put you on. After I get something or other." He goes, I think you go. He goes, "You're gonna want to stay over, right?" I go, "Well, I might just want to. Sometimes I like to split after the show and drive." He goes, "Oh, you're gonna want to stay over because next morning is the rodeo events."
Do you ever miss a rodeo, Tim? It would have been your first. It would have been the first that you ever missed.
And he said, he goes, "Yeah." He goes, "I'm trying to arrange a tent. You're gonna probably want to bring your own sleeping bag."
Okay.
At that point, I went, I got to get out of this because I could just, it's going to go one or two ways. You weren't funny. Biggest bomb of my life. Or, "Oh, man, you were hilarious. You can have my old lady for the night."
Yes. Yeah. Honey, you know what to do. Oh boy. Yeah. That would have been an interesting crowd. Was it the Blues? I'm picturing was it the Blues Brothers movie where the band is performing behind the chain link fence?
Yeah, that's what I imagined. Oh man, I so chickened out.
Yeah.
So didn't want to do that.
Have you? Now they're doing. I saw a thing maybe they're doing them here. I'm not sure.
Drive-ins?
Yes, drive-in in California.
I almost did one. I almost did one Saturday.
Where?
I was South Bend, Indiana.
Okay.
I was booked for a drive-in event and rained out.
Okay.
So
how was the setup going to be for that? I mean,
it was a parking lot. It was a parking lot of a whiskey bar.
A place that normally has comedy, or no, just an open lot?
I think they were doing. Yeah, I think they had like an open mic night before the shutdown.
Okay.
So and they were opening it back up in the parking lot. So
interesting.
Yeah.
I saw I follow what is that called? Go Bananas on Instagram, and I saw this morning that they're building a stage outside the club.
Oh wow.
Yeah, they're gonna do shows outside.
Yeah, it kind of makes sense. If you've got a parking lot. If you've got a parking lot, well, you've got the same capacity inside as you do outside.
Yeah. What if
can't do that here at Acme?
Well, yeah, no, the surface lots are dwindling.
Well, actually, they might be. Yeah, they might be able to do it.
However,
the lot across the street would probably work.
Well, here's the thing: so many people are working at home. Or just like the twin season is going on now, but there's no twins parking that you have to battle with anymore. So for now, it actually has opened up around here quite a bit.
Yeah.
You don't have to fight for a spot like you used to. So that's a silver lining, certainly. What are some of like the dingiest places you've performed, or just strange places you performed comedy? Like in the vein of like a drive-in theater.
I did.
Or a biker clubhouse, which, by the way, as you're thinking about that, clubhouse,
yeah, that's what
Mickey
they said.
Mouse
They said
has a clubhouse.
They said clubhouse.
Yeah.
They said club when they booked. It was clubhouse.
Yeah,
It was
Mickey
not.
Mouse.
It was not an outdoor bike route. There's a big difference between clubhouse and an outdoor bike rally.
Yeah.
And people are going to be a little more focused, a little easier to get attention inside the clubhouse.
Yeah.
At a big rally with. Some guy dragging another guy behind his bike doing donuts in the middle of the
showing off their exhaust. Yeah. How long they can lay down rubber?
I did a 6th grade class once.
There we go.
Is a guy saw my tax routine.
Okay.
And said,
that makes
and
a
he
ton
also
of sense.
he also did a junior achievement. He would come in once a week and he'd do a junior achievement class with like a 6th grade class.
Yeah.
And he would teach him about economics. And he like a Christmas present he brought me in to perform for the kids, and that was weird.
How did you?
I have nothing in common with it. The only thing we both laugh at is poop jokes.
Oh yeah.
And that's where I went, and so he probably was really disappointed. he probably got in trouble for bringing in the guy to talk about poop.
How long? How much do you guarantee a sixth grade class? I got 10 minutes.
I think it was 15.
15?
Yeah, about 15. Yep.
Give me the light at 13. Give me the recess bell at 13. Oh, I love that. Let's see. Oh, let's do a few more minutes here, right? Hey, do you never? Have we ever? You do a second podcast?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to mention that?
Yeah, I can mention that.
Yeah. Give
It's
it some attention.
it's not. I produce it, so and I'm one of the three hosts. So yeah, I am involved, but it's not as much mine, which is why I tend to promote mine. It's called Another Day Above Ground. It's a podcast for, by, and about baby boomers.
Yeah.
And it's actually quite interesting. It's much of it was rule of three. It's just Bent and I just kind of cackling at each other for a half hour. This one, we actually interview people with information like legitimate information. You know, like there was like one person. She can help you go weed through Medicare, and she can find the best plans for your situation, and she's a Medicare expert.
Mm-hmm.
Another time we brought on a cruise director, and he's talking about what to expect on it if you go on your first cruise. What else? We had another guy that coaches people on side gigs.
Oh,
exclusively. Yeah. So it's we investment advice, retiring in Mexico. That was a big one. We've actually had 3 or 4 people on now that talk about how to retire in Mexico affordably.
Okay.
We probably the most informative or the most interesting was a woman who's building houses, and they're not like retirement houses, but they're for older people that don't want all the upkeep. So it's like it's like assisted living without the assistant.
Okay.
And she's building. She bought like a mansion in Italy that she's rehabbing into. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So you can retire. And right now, the one she has, I think it's in Toronto. The one she built is just it's just like $12.50 a month Canadian to rent. So
where are you going to retire to? Mexico?
I don't even know if I can afford Mexico.
Not even discount Mexico?
If I live to the ability of retirement, yeah, it's.
I was wondering how you were going to address that.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna be Africa is probably all I can afford. I'll be Tanzania maybe.
I thought for sure you were going to be like, retire. I'll be on the stage.
Yeah, that way I figured that. I never considered retiring.
Right.
So.
When you hear the
comedy industry though might have a different opinion now that I think about it.
So because of what's happening with there's clubs shutting down. There's just like we're talking about like people being creative to do shows. I mean there's already less places to perform.
Right.
There's less opportunities. There's
right.
A year, 2 years from now, do you think there's going to be less people doing comedy as a career?
I have no idea. I think there would have to be, right?
You think so? Yeah, I mean, I do too. I think there has to be.
But we will see. I have no idea what's shaking out on the other end.
Yeah,
it's. I think most of the guys my age probably are just. They're if it starts up again like it was, I don't think they're going to go back.
Yeah,
they're going to go. Nah, we're already settled.
Yeah, it's a weird. Who knows? It's so hard to predict what's gonna. Day by day, Tim. So you gotta take
I'm
it
not.
Day by day.
I'm not slowing down. I've been doing shows. I've been. It's kind of a golden opportunity because there's a lot of pros. A lot of pros are still holding back.
That's exactly what I was saying to Lewis a couple weeks ago. Lewis Lee, the owner here at Acme, was saying, "Isn't this going to be an opportunity for people?" to get in at clubs that, because the people that aren't going on the road,
right?
It's going to be more opportunities for people that are hungry and willing to get out there.
Yeah, it was last week I did a show, and it was sold out 45 minutes before the show.
Okay,
which is capacity. They were turning people away 45 minutes before showtime. The people could not get in, and that. in that respect, I think that there is potential for comedy to be as big as it was, because when it was in the 80s, you would have to make reservations 2 weeks in advance if you wanted to see a comedy show. That's how it was at capacity, and it was turning people away.
That is so interesting.
So when they were turning people away 45 minutes before, for me there was hope that it's like, oh my gosh, it's going to be like that again, where it's where there is more demand for comedy than capacity. Then the capacity ramped up pretty quick in the 80s. A lot of people said, ooh, let's build enormous comedy caverns.
Right.
And it wasn't, and there were so many built that they had to actually paper. They had to give away free passes. It's, my joke is the only people making money in comedy in the 90s was Kinko's.
Paper suppliers.
Yeah.
Yep.
But during the 80s, that's when comedy was, I think, was probably at its peak.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. There were quite a few. I love going back to the what is the show? They have the old episodes. I bring it up occasionally when somebody comes to the podcast here that's been on the Night at the Improv show that was on.
Oh, Evening at the Improv.
Evening at the Improv.
Yeah.
So many names.
Yeah.
Some are still around, others like, oh my goodness. I watch some of these episodes where I'll just look at the names and like, then I'll Google and see like, what are they doing now? Are they still doing comedy? Are they still alive? Are they switched to strictly writing? Like, I love that. It's just fascinating. Like how, because it was such a boom. I know I wasn't in the 80s. The only comedy I knew about were the ones that were, on HBO. Like, you know what I mean? So I wasn't old enough to be going to clubs in the 80s. So I didn't experience it firsthand, but it is.
Yeah, there was when it was on all those cable stations. That was it helped comedy more than it hurt, but it hurt the future of comedy. It is because back then it was a big deal to go to the. I don't know if you remember this, but back then it was a big deal to go to the department store and stand in front of a video camera and actually see yourself on television. Do you remember
100% remember that. Yes.
Oh, this is what I looked like on TV. Nobody knew. It was.
You're the first person to ever reference that to me. Ever.
Huh.
But I can picture it was Dayton's downtown St. Paul.
Yeah.
You could walk by.
It's like, look, come on. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was. Yeah.
It kind of reminds me of that Simpsons episode where they do the outer limits takeoff, and we control your television set. We control the vertical. Then Homer starts going, look at my voice on TV. And Bart goes, Dad, you're spoiling the mood. So anyway, to get back, so people that were on TV, I mean, it wasn't. There was no YouTube. You couldn't take a video on a phone and then put it for everyone to see on.
Right.
It was actually a big deal that if somebody was on a television show. Still,
Mm-hmm.
it had not gone that far. So the fact that people could go to the Holiday Inn Lounge in Asheville, North Carolina, and see a comedian that they had just seen on TV that week was kind of a big deal.
Sure, yeah.
And people would they'd flock to the clubs. I mean, the adults.
Yeah.
But what happened was the kids that were grounded at home would sit in their room with a TV set going, this crap is on every station. God, I hate stand-up.
Interesting. Yeah.
So it was.
So
there was a big wave of in the early '90s, but then as that the club demographic, the double income, no kids, as they started having kids and stopped going out to the clubs, the generation behind them wanted nothing to do with stand-up.
That's very interesting.
So
yeah.
there was a little gap, I think, like in the late '90s before the turn of the century, and what you saw around the turn of the century was the little kids that tried to sneak watching the cable shows. And their parents would say, are you watching that Evening at the Improv? I told you you're not allowed to watch that. You're too young.
Uh-huh.
And those were the kids that flocked to the comedy clubs around the turn of the millennium.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're absolutely right. And I had to sneak every time in my
Yep,
house.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Got to go to Jose's house across the street. We could watch anything. My house? Oh, maybe if they were performing on Arsenio Hall or something, I could see it. But other than that, no. So let's just wrap this up here. People need to come see you. Take an opportunity to come see you here this week.
When's this going online?
Today.
Oh, okay. So tonight through Saturday, we
Uh-huh.
got 5 big shows.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun. It's my COVID set.
Yes. I heard some of it last night, right?
Yep,
Yeah. It was funny, and I mean, it made complete sense to try to work this in, to use our situation.
Well,
while
how can
dealing with this
you
material.
not?
How can you not?
How can you not?
I know.
It's a comic that did a Corey that did one of the first shows they did at Acme. It was just great. It's like everything, all my material sounds stupid now. It's like, well, I was driving to work today. No. And pardon me for ripping you off, Cordy, but
Yeah, no. I was at a dinner party a year ago. I was talking. Yeah, exactly. I was hugging my grandma 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Tim, thank you. People who are going to come to the shows, follow you on social media, Facebook, right?
Yep. And you want to hear the other podcast, Rule of 3 with
Yes.
Bent Washburn? That's
Yep.
the way you got to Google it, because when we picked the name, Brian and I did not realize that you should Google your title of your podcast before you choose it. So Google Rule of 3 with Bent.
There you go. BENGT.
Right. And also the other one, For, By, and About Baby Boomers, Another Day Above Ground.
Perfect. And they're both available everywhere you find podcasts.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Tim.
Thank you.
Boom.